So I talk to a lot of retirement advisors. None of them are TV stars. Neither do they have a catchphrase. Where did your catchphrase come from?
My woohoo?
Yes.
I have no idea. It was a moment in time about 9 years ago, and something just struck me, and the next thing you know, I'm saying woo everywhere I go. So it's got to be the right day and the right time, and it's got to be a reason. But sometimes it's fun.
Okay. So you juggle a TV show and a full service financial business.
Right.
What's a typical day like for you?
Well, typical day is I try to get to the gym by 6 a.m., home by 7:30, and then I'm usually in the office by 9 a.m., and then I'm seeing clients every 2 hours. So Linda, that works for me, schedules all my clients every 2 hours, so we're doing either reviews or first or second appointments. I'm typically a first or second appointment. I see my clients twice before we go into a close or a recommendation plan. We're not a quick fix. We are a company that's going to be there through their lifetime. It's not just for right now, it's for forever. So I think that's unusual for most advisors, is they want to go in and fix it and then walk away and never talk to their client again. So I consider my agency more of a boutique agency. Mm-hmm. We're really specialized. We take care of the client. So
sure.
It means a lot to me and my clients.
Yeah, I mean, you talked about that all the way through life and even through death mm-hmm. as well. You had told me earlier that your dad's diagnosis of Alzheimer's had a huge impact not only on your family, right. but on kind of you, pushing you towards this industry and succeeding in this industry. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, it's really interesting. My dad got diagnosed at 59 years old from Alzheimer's. I just turned 53 Friday. So if you look at our lifespan and our life expectancy, he should have lived to 85, 89, 90. He was robbed. He died at 67. So they didn't plan for that. They didn't have long-term care insurance, a very small life insurance policy. And my sister and I looked at this and said, you know what? There's a lot of people that are in the same boat that we are. So she actually has her own practice in Illinois, and I have mine here. And we just are really passionate about helping people to realize that something like that could happen to them. If it's not an illness, it could be a death or anything in between.
Sure. And also, we talked about you having so much energy to do so many things in a given day. But you could waste energy, a person could, if they don't have a really good strategic right. plan. And right. you were telling me about how you talk to groups of people. Mm-hmm. Right. Talk about how that transpired and the kind of people that you're talking to.
So I used to sell, my main focus was on internet term life insurance, where you're talking to one person each time. And then we changed the business model to talk one time to 30 people, to 40 people. And I do these seminar dinners. So we send out invitations. Prospects respond and they want to hear me, go to a dinner, and then from there we actually are able to set one-on-one appointments with them and go over their plan and what is their red flag, what is their concern, and how can I help you with that.
Right.
So
okay,
it's really nice.
Another thing about this industry, and you and I have talked about this, the latest statistics show that roughly 85% of the people who do what you do on the financial side are men. Mm-hmm. Only about 15% women, and yet you have become extremely successful in your business. When we also look at the studies of baby boomers, we've got like 76 million baby boomers hitting retirement age. That's a huge opportunity for women,
really
and we were talking about this earlier, but women, again, studies show that they're better listeners. They're more empathetic. Mm-hmm. Usually, if an aging parent, if that occurs, right. the daughter
Correct.
is the one that
Steps
takes over.
in. Yeah.
What can you tell other women out there to get more women on the front line as producers out there?
Well, that's what's interesting for me is I talk to a lot of women clients about setting up their retirement plan. But women producers, they're shy to get into the industry, or they're not feeling confident enough because it is a male-dominated career. To me, it's not gender specific. I'm out there to do the right thing for the client, and really, I want to get as many women advisors out there because I do think we're more empathetic. I do think we're more compassionate, and I'm not in it for the sale. I'm in it to earn that client's trust, and I think that's what's different sometimes. I am the breadwinner. I am single, so I do have to provide for myself. But even when I was married, I still was a breadwinner, and I just had a lot of opportunity to make a nice life for my family,
Mm-hmm.
and I wanted to do that.
Social Security is another one of the main issues in the industry. It seems like such a simple thing. You just check a box, but it seems like there are a lot of people that miss that. You've got some information on your
Right,
website that talk
right.
about that. What's the problem with Social Security right now?
Well, Social Security is one of those deposits that are going to go into your checkbook every month, regardless if you work or not that month, right? So my mom lived just on Social Security, and that was something she knew every single month was going to drop in her account. The problem is people don't know when to turn that Social Security on, and there's over 400 different options you can take when you're going to take Social Security. Do you take it on your spouse? Do you take it on an ex-spouse? Do you take it on yourself? Do you take it at 62? Do you wait till you're 66 and a half? I mean, there's all different scenarios. So we actually have a software that can input all the information, and we can actually show the client, take it now, why don't you wait? For every time they wait after 66, there's an 8% increase. Where can you make 8% on your money right now? So we want to educate people, maybe turn on income from another bucket first, and then go in and turn it on Social Security later.
Okay. Uh, One of the other big problems facing the industry is an aging
Mm-hmm.
advisor base.
Right,
You said you're in your early 50s.
right.
One of the problems is you've got them aging out.
Yeah.
What's the succession plan? Do you have a succession plan in place?
It's actually a good question. So my succession plan is my son. He's the vice president of the company. He's been handling only life insurance up until now. He's now getting, enough knowledge and enough time behind him just doing life insurance that he's getting hungry to get into this end of it, which is the retirement plan. I didn't want him to be a young advisor in his early 20s working on $1 million cases. It's not appropriate. So my succession plan is my kids. And you know what? If Michael does not want to take over onto this entity, then my daughter is a full-time mom right now, but there could be an option for her down the road, or I sell the business. So, I don't really know yet. I'm not going to stop for a while.
Okay.
My goal is 65, about 12 more years
Okay.
to really go down about 3 days a week and just oversee my staff and make sure that they're doing everything right. That's the goal.
Sure.
So I don't know if I'll be able to do it.
You mentioned it just a little bit right then, but so you've been in the spotlight for 10 years. You've been building the business.
Yeah.
What's the next 10 years look like then? How are you going to kind of shift the power to your son, or
Yeah.
what else you're going to do in the business?
So my business, I want to still grow. I wrote about $15 million last year on fixed index annuities, and my goal this year is $22 million. So I've got a lot of pressure on me a little bit, pushing me through, but that's what keeps me focused. I have a goal board every day. I work against that goal board. Michael is going to start shadowing me on the workshops. I'm going to be introducing him when I start speaking. And really him shadowing me in every appointment, the first appointment, the second appointment, the close. So he knows how that process goes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really excited about that.
Okay. Now, we talked a little bit about marketing, but not the social media side of it, because social media, there might have been MySpace or something like that when you got started in the business, but
Yeah.
social media was...
www wasn't even invented when I got in the business.
Yeah, so it was very small
Yeah.
then. What role does that play in you getting in front of people?
Yep. So social media is very important because the baby boomers are going to the internet for information. So I have a strong presence on Facebook, LinkedIn. I've gotten a lot of clients that have lost their job, or they've got a 401k rollover, they need to move. And so we have a strong presence on LinkedIn. And from there, we're building new clients from.
Okay. And as far as the seminars, how many of those are you doing a month?
We do 2 to 4 a month, depending upon my calendar. I will always do a women's workshop every other month, and then couples from that point forward. But women's workshops, we always have a great turnout because women like to be with women.
Right.
And we want to know that we're not alone if we're single. And so I do cater to either single, widowed, or divorced women. And it's nice. They have like a little bit of a synergy between them. They've maybe owned their own business, or maybe they've been employed by somebody and they've got a pension coming in. So it's been a really nice, easy way to get into the women industry.
Talk about your overall marketing plan, though, because we had mentioned this earlier to each other, but we conduct a poll every year, and we ask, what's the thing that keeps you up at night? And the overriding answer to that is getting good qualified leads. First, how do you get good qualified leads? And then secondly, what is it about the business side of it that keeps you up at night?
Well, it always is having enough prospects to keep the business going. I've got a lot of overhead here. I've got a lot of employees. I've got 12 employees. I've got their families to feed, my family to feed, the overhead in the office, payroll taxes, federal and state taxes. So it's definitely a lot of pressure, but I can handle it. So that's what keeps me up at night, is continuing to do the right thing for the client. I get referrals, so that always helps. But really, more importantly, I'm consistent on my seminars. I'm always booking out my seminars. We don't ever have a month where we're dry. So every single month, I'm booking 2 to 4 seminars, and that's my staple business. From there, then we've got the branches, which is the LinkedIn, the social media, the referrals.
Okay.
So,
one other thing that's popular for some advisors is client appreciation events. You've got such a beautiful setting around you. Do you do anything in regards to that?
We actually do 2 per year. One of them is on a cruise.
Oh, wow.
So out of Newport Beach, I take all my clients and we go out on a yacht harbor cruise from 3 o'clock to 7 o'clock. And it's nothing more than to appreciate them and thank them and just educate them on where we're going with the economy and the trends. And beyond that, it's dancing and nice food. So they really enjoy that. They look forward to that. And then at the holidays, we do a holiday party. Last year, we did a shredding truck. So my clients could bring all their shredding old documents. They went up in their attics, and I had a red carpet with little Santas and elves taking all the documents from their trunks and putting it in the big truck. And we had, up here was just beautiful music, and I had catered. And so my clients, it was like an open house. In the hallway, we had ice cream, and it was just really lovely. So we do those. We're thinking about a baseball party this summer for a lot of our clients that couldn't make the yacht cruise, do another one. So we don't see the leads coming in as much from those. It's more of just appreciating our clients. So you've got to keep touching them in every different way.
Sure. Before we close out, it is a struggle with the industry. You've got a huge kind of failure rate, about 80% in those first few years. As people are trying to climb up the ladder, what's the best advice you can give them? Because you have kind of risen up through the ranks here.
I've definitely gone through my highs and lows in the business. But I think one of the things I want to educate and teach agents mostly, one of the things I want to educate agents is to not give up. If this is your true passion, you're going to go through some bad times. But if it was easy, everybody would be doing it, right? Yeah. So this is not an easy career. Right. This is not for those that have a weak heart. You've got to have a strong team behind you, whether it's a spouse or children, to just encouraging you and helping you. I believe in mentorship. So find somebody that's successful in your area and latch onto them and learn from them. I didn't have that. I did it all myself. So I started when I was 28. I'm 53 now, and definitely I've gone through some tough times. But I knew what I had to produce every single month in order to make my bills, and I never, ever stop until I make those goals. So on my board in my office, I have my goal sheet. I hit those goals every month, and that way I never fall behind.
Okay. Well, as we close out, could you please give us a woo-hoo
I know, right?
You go out?
It's crazy. I know it's not very professional, but sometimes you got to do it.
That's
so,
right.
woo-hoo!
Thank you so much.
It's good to meet you.
You too.
Thank you.